All right, SOFI update here on the 1st. So we sold off into the end of the day. If I zoom in here and look at this move from the very bottom, I feel like I'm kind of forcing myself to turn this into a impulse move when I look at it, to be honest. I do think this can be an impulse move right here. I actually think that there is a good chance that this was a truncated wave 5. So if I zoom in here, I'll show you what I mean. So basically right here, it just means that this didn't complete the 5th wave. This was supposed to go like that, but instead it went like this and we were short. So I think that the move actually starts right here, like that, and it's a pretty deep 4th wave, but it's fine. So I have the 1st wave right there if it's an impulse move, and then we get this move down here, which is normal, hit the 0.5 fib, and then we get this move right here, which does not look like an impulse move. So more than likely, we're looking at a 1st wave here, and then this was A, B, and we're making the C wave down for the 2nd wave right now. This looks like an impulse move right here. So I wouldn't be surprised if it came down a little bit lower, maybe to the very bottom here at 636, and ends up being a 2nd wave. One other thing to look at is it possible that we are not finished? This is going to go lower. I would say it is, but very unlikely. And if it is, I would actually look at it like this. It would be like this. It would be a bigger A wave. So you can see that the falling wedge, we're still in the falling wedge, so it's still possible that it's still going and it's a bigger falling wedge. That's why falling wedges you can't really tell until it actually breaks out. So it would look like this. This would end up being A, B, C like that. A, B, C. A, B, C, and we'd be in the D wave right here. So this would end up being that, and then we would do one more down here. So technically it is possible. Is it likely with earnings? I don't think so, because if they really keep us in this falling wedge all the way through like the election, we just pop a little bit for earnings and then we come down here lower, that would be so brutal. I can't imagine the investors, well, including myself, everyone would be pissed off at that point. Just going up here to like 670 and then coming down here lower, basically taking the whole year in a falling wedge, that would be pretty insane. So I think the chances of that are pretty small. This is the way I'm looking at it if it is going to break out of the falling wedge. And if it is going to break out, again, the target is 860 minimum. This is probably going to end up being some kind of 3rd wave that's going to go really parabolic. So it would have to be a pretty big 3rd wave up here to a minimum of 860. And obviously we got earnings, so that's going to be a positive catalyst. Another reason why I think it's unlikely that this continues on to lower lows. One other thing to look at is the daily here. We are below the 20 and below the 50 here on the daily, so that's still bearish. So we're still below that. You can see here we barely went above it before and then came back down. That's bearish. We're below the supply zone that I just moved. I think it goes up here to about 678 is where that supply zone is. So yeah, it is technically still bearish, but the chances of it being done are pretty high. But again, it is possible if they want to extend it out, they could do something like this. And then just make this go all the way into November, pretty much. So just to be aware of that, if we don't get the impulse move, then that is a possibility. We'd probably still come up here, though, into this zone before falling back down. So we really have to get an impulse move here. If we don't get an impulse move here, then that would be actually a more likely scenario. So this I'm banking on being a first wave. This is obviously not a third wave. I'm looking for this to be the second wave. We cannot break below 620. The next move higher, the target is going to be minimum of 681. 682. So, and there's a gap right here at 682 or at 677. So we'll see what happens. Still looking for more upside. I'm seeing a lot of IWM calls as well, which is very positive. I saw some 250 calls with a lot of premium. So we'll see what happens. Can SOFI break out after this move is finished? This has got to be a second wave. That's the only option possible. Otherwise, it's going to end up being this, which I think is probably unlikely. So, a little bit longer video than I wanted. Not that much to talk about yet. Let's wait till we break out. We still need to break out of the falling wedge and then really get above 795 so we can go all the way up here to 860. So that's it for now. I'm over in Asia, so the time change is going to be kind of weird on my videos, but I thought I'd do a quick update, and that's it for now. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and I will keep you updated the rest of the week. Have a good night.